Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, you are.
Yeah, yes. So there has to be a justification, if it doesn't justify and it doesn't target the injury that we are looking at, it need not be there.
Thank you, ma'am, for sharing your knowledge with us. This was a very informative
You're
webinar for all of us, and we learned a lot of things. Thank you again.
most welcome. Again, clinically reasoning yourself. Okay, next time you see your patient, just think whether what I'm doing, how is it working? The mechanics of how things work.
Neha, there is one question put up by Rohan, I think in the chat box or
Yes.
comments.
Okay, I'll have a look. If the athlete is suffering from lower limb problem, then how can we maintain his fitness? Okay, that's very important. So determine what the problem is. See what are the limitations. If it's a stress fracture, for example, then we have to see how old is the stress fracture or what stage it is. Gradual loading if permitted. Okay, if it's in an early stage, yes, then there is not much of loading that you can do. But how do we maintain his fitness? He can do core activities which are not vertically loading the athlete, which are not impacting on his legs. We can put him on a cycle, you can put him on an assault bike, he can swim, he can do upper body strength work, he can do core, he can do a lot of different things. He can even run in a pool, like water-based rehab, which has given us amazing result when it comes to lower limb injuries. At the same time, if your athlete has a tendinopathy, okay, let's say an Achilles tendinopathy, so how do we determine what stage it is? If he's in a position where you can do his quadriceps strengthening by isolating quadriceps or using a quadriceps table, okay, thus not doing squats but still targeting quadriceps, go ahead with it. So you have to weigh, you have to understand how the injury works, and within the limitations what best I can do with the in terms of his fitness. Okay, ma'am, join any team with sports physiotherapy required? No. Okay, so that's again an important question. After I graduated, I was in a dilemma whether to do an MPT or not, to be very honest. And maybe 10, 12 years back, we did not have programs which were elective. And I had already got selected into a sports team. So I continued working with my BPT education, but I have a slightly different approach. With me doing only BPT, what I started doing is I started learning targeted approaches. Okay, so if my interest is SI joint, I did specialized courses in SI joint. So it gave me an in-depth knowledge of SI joint. Then I would like to learn more about shoulder. I learned more about shoulder, in-depth knowledge of how it works and everything. So that way I have personally not done MPT, but I did targeted courses where it helped me cater to my athletes better. When we are on the field, not much time to properly diagnose, or how you quickly diagnose and take decisions to coming back. Okay. As I said, for example, if your athlete has twisted his ankle, is he able to walk off the field or come to you while you both are approaching each other? Like your physio walks you run to the field. Is your athlete just lying there? Is he able to stand? Is he able to walk? Is he able to bear weight? Yes, then let's work around it. And as you start working with more and more clients, people, athletes, you will develop your own clinical assessments, quick clinical assessments. You will understand how loose the joint may feel. Okay, this spot is tender, this is where the ATFL is. This spot is tender, this is where your tibialis posterior is. So we come to know on basis of that. If your athlete is able to do the basic running, jumping, hopping, okay, then we may tape them according to what the injury is and then send them back to the field. But if they are not able to walk or run or jog, you may want to pull them out. That was for Nilay. So as you get your hands on as many patients as you can, feel ankles, feel shoulder, feel a simple test like McMurray's test. Do a simple Lachman test. Try to assess as many shoulders as you can. Only then you will be able to assess your athlete quickly. Okay, Nilay, I hope that was helpful. Khatri sir, one question to you. When are you coming to Baroda?
Oh my God.
It's been a year that I haven't met you.
Today, my job was to ask you the question, not to answer your question. Yeah,
Right.
it's okay. No, definitely, I'll inform you. No worries. This
No,
is a
it's
public platform, so it's better I
yes,
avoid speaking about that.
yes,
But I just
yes.
wanted you to, motivate the students and tell some
Definitely.
tricks like how they can make their career in sports physiotherapy and become
Yes.
something successful like you.
Sir, I'll be very honest. I think it works two ways. The physio has to put on lots of hard work, okay, because there is no substitute for hard work. And you got to be persistent. At the same time, I have amazing family that has only encouraged me and helped me out while I was traveling. I used to be away for 6 months at a time. So uh, my advice to physios would be start volunteering. There's nobody's going to give us a job on platter of please come join my club or our team. No, that is not how it happens. It happens out of practice. And don't shy away from volunteering. When you have time, go to a club, say let me just have a look at your athletes. I'm not going to charge you at this moment because I'm in a learning process. I remember doing volunteering for 8 months with as many people that I could see. So that gives you lots and lots of experience. So start volunteering in any club. If there's a small cricket club around you, there's a football club around you, it need not be. But then you will start understanding how the athletes come with injuries. You will start understanding the urgency to get back to sport. You will have lots of experience. That is one thing I cannot stress enough. Volunteering. Any recent advances for acute injury? It's a very umbrella question. Would you be more specific? See, when we are looking at acute soft tissue injuries, you need to, if the patient is bleeding and not able to do their functional things, like walk around, lift something heavy, you straight away send them to a emergency room where the surgeons, the doctors know what best you can do. If it's a closed injury and you're suspecting a minor tear in the muscle, send them over for an MRI. Do your clinical assessment, see which muscle you think is affected. We had one of our athletes from Sri Lanka. She had an avulsion of hamstring, semimembranosus and tendinosis while playing a warm-up game. So first thing, yeah. So the physio treatment will, the nature of injury will determine when the physio starts. Whether the physio you are an on-field physio, your job is to get the first aid done. If you think the muscle is torn or there is a strain in the muscle or things, figure out what muscle it is. If you need to splint it with a tape. Make sure there is no fracture around. Sometimes we have a lot of hand injuries in cricketers. Make sure if you suspect a fracture, put on a splint, send them over for a specific x-ray, and then you take a call whether to rest that part or whether to start with physiotherapy. Sometimes with muscle strains, you need to splint them for a while and back off with your hands-on treatment while you work on other things. So yes, the nature, the severity of injury will tell you whether you should straight away go for physio treatment or back off for a while. A technical knowledge. Okay, there's a question from Rohan. It's in the examination for an field physiotherapist. Do we need to have technical knowledge about the sport? It definitely helps you, but however, if you are new to the sport, I'm sure the coaches and the athletes will be happy to discuss with you how the sport is played, what all is required. For example, I'm moving from cricket to wrestling, which are completely two different sports. So having technical knowledge helps you to understand the pathomechanics of an injury and thus work on a rehab if required. Nainesh is asking for protocol. Nainesh, I don't believe in a recipe approach. Let me tell you one thing. Because it will work on one patient, it may not work on others because the pathomechanics of an injury may vary. You may have an ACL tear because of two different things. You may have ACL degeneration. So how do we work, right? Yes, ice, rice, price, everything is part of your on-field first aid. That comes as a first aid. But when you look at on-field protocol, yes, you rest. If you don't know, one simple thing I'll tell you, if you don't know what to do, just do nothing, refer them to an emergency service, right? Because we do a lot of things. If somebody faints, somebody has a seizure, we do a lot of things. So best is to back off. If we don't know anything, do no harm, okay? Yes, ice is one of the most important things that we use. Rest the part. No massage, no mobilizations until and unless we are very sure of what the exact pathology is. How should we prepare to sports physio in terms of examinations? You mean examinations? There is no examinations that will tell you ki you are now a sports physio. No. Even if you are an MPT ortho, even if you are a BPT, you can become a sports physio. Okay. Sports physio means you are working with athletes. So try and see what the injury is. If you cannot come to a diagnosis right away, take a detailed assessment, go back to your home, think about it, why this has happened. You can always go back to your clinical notes and come to a diagnosis. Okay. So having good clinical assessment matters. Okay. You may not be initially very good with clinical assessment. We all have started somewhere, but do not lose hope. Try to be better than what you were next day. Nenesh, I'm not sure about how the examinations in police takes place. I think there were, I know some people.
Hello.
Sorry?
Yes, ma'am. It is not about the any treatment protocol, but any soft tissue injuries, the recent advances I'm asking about, evidence-based practice,
So
not
you
only
did
the on-field management.
Yeah. So
I know
what
about
we,
all the things you said that, ma'am. I know about all the things because I have
okay.
working as a sports physio in Sports Authority
Okay.
of Gujarat. That's why I'm
Okay.
asking about the any recent advances
Okay.
for soft tissue injuries.
So
Not
listen,
only
listen.
these are the
Okay.
in the previous one is the ice, price, rice,
Yes.
ricer,
That
then
is
poly,
only one
then after
5%.
again more.
Yes. So determine which soft tissue you are working with. Are you working with a fascia? Whether you are working with a
No,
muscle,
I'm not
the belly of
any soft tissue, any soft tissue injuries, but not only protocol you said about that cannot in the various sort player to player. Any treatment
yes. So
protocol varies
that's why
from player to player, or depends on the on your assessment or examination. Then after to decide to which treatment we have give it.
okay. Now listen. Okay.
Huh.
Once you do your assessment, you come to know which soft tissue is involved, whether it's a
Yes, yes,
muscle,
yes.
okay, or
Muscle
whether
or
it's a
tissue or a ligament or anything
yes,
else. Okay.
or whether it's a
I know
ligament.
that.
So you
Huh.
will find there are a lot of there will be a lot of research. Okay, you will see these
Yes, yes.
things on the research paper. There are timelines. Okay, the muscle belly may
Mm,
heal faster, the tendon will
mm,
heal slower. Okay, the
yes, yes, ma'am.
attachment, the bone will heal the
Mm,
slowest. Okay, it will
yes,
also
yes,
depend
yes, ma'am.
on the status of the muscle. If there is a hamstring
Yes.
insertional tendinopathy. Okay, there is hamstring
Mm, mm,
origin tendinopathy. There can be
mm,
insertional tendinopathy. Now we need to look
mm,
at why that tendinopathy has happened. Has it happened because of very tight hamstrings and low mobility? Has it happened
mm,
because of too much the way if it's happened in a sprinter? Are we looking at a stride
yes.
length? So the
Mm,
sport matters, the technical work matters, the timeline matters. Okay, there is no, see, most of the injuries that develop over a period of time, okay, whether it's tendinopathies,
yes.
it's bone stress, whether it is a labral tear can be acute or like a traumatic and non-traumatic as well, okay. But many
Yes.
injuries which are gradual in nature, when they progress gradually, most of them are load related injuries, okay. There is a physio called Brad Beer. He's in Australia. He has extensive research in running based injuries. So what they are saying is many injuries are load related injuries. So if we know that there is a tendinopathy, tendons are extremely sensitive to load. We need to determine how slowly we can load them. Loading can be in terms of your external load of weight. Loading can be your frequency of exercise. Loading can be your tempo of exercise, the speed of exercise. Okay. Loading can also be the type of exercise you're looking at, whether it is concentric, isometric, or eccentric exercise. So we
Eccentric.
have to determine
Yes, ma'am.
what kind of loading is your athlete responding well to, and what loading is indicated in what stage. Okay. So as I said,
Yes, ma'am.
there you may have a protocol, but your athletes may not always fit into a protocol. So you need to assess day in and day out. Okay, कल मैंने ये लोड किया था पर इसका रिजल्ट मुझे अच्छा मिला, so let me continue with it.
Depends
ये
on
मैंने load
player
किया.
schedule also.
Exactly, if the player is in
Yes.
a high intensity
It's
zone or
high
in a,
intensity, the speed workout, any strength workout, or any endurance
it also
workout, and the
the
different
period.
types of workout and schedules.
Yeah. Yeah, it
Mm.
also depends on the periodization of their
Ah,
sport. If they
periodization,
are
yes.
in camp,
Mm.
are they in a heavy load zone? Are they in a recovery zone? Are they in a zone where you bring down the loads? So it all depends on that. And most important, you need to talk with the coach and the strength and conditioning coach together, because they may have some very vital information in terms of technical work. If the technical work is not sound according to the coach, let's figure it out what's going wrong. Okay, we have a lot of pace bowlers who come in with medial ankle sprain. There is no history of trauma, there is no history of a previous injury. They just start coming with medial ankle sprain, pain at the back of their medial malleolus. Nobody knows what's happening, and you treat them, they get better. When they get start to bowling, again the pain start. So here, what have we missed? We have missed looking at their videos, their technical work. Many fast bowlers have a splay in their ankle, where the ankle goes into an eversion. Okay, not inversion, eversion. That loads their tibialis posterior a lot. That loads the your deltoid ligament a lot. So it's very important to also
Yes.
look at the technical part to do a better rehab. So as I said, I personally don't believe in a fixed protocol. It's great to have a skeletal framework, but we need to make our changes according to the athlete, the sport, and the time of your competition.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Next question is how to
Yes,
join
ma'am.
any team. With sports physiotherapist, how to proceed? As I said, start volunteering in first place. Most of the sports associations will put up an advertisement in newspapers regarding a post. Go for an interview, but if you have previous experience, even if that experience is from volunteering, okay, that should help you out, because then you will be more clinically sound. Okay. Anything else?
होइत राखा नहीं बोले इंग्लिश में पूछूं ते जवाब न दे कि घड़ी कर ते मने के
મને
આમાં આમ
ગુજરાતી
હોય તેમ હોય
સમજે
પછી મને
છે.
ખબર પડે પણ આનું હું એમ આનું હું તે કે gone through the research જવાબ જ ન આપી.
Okay, but only thing, I may not be very fluent when speaking Gujarati, but I can understand Gujarati. So it's okay if you answer in Gujarati, a question in Gujarati. So we are good for today, is it? So I guess we had a good session. I thought it will be for say 30 minutes. We are almost an hour into the session. Roshni, are we done with the questions?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So
Thank you,
thank
ma'am.
you, sir. It's been a pleasure to talk to your students.
Yeah, thank you so much, Neha.
from
God
an
bless
old
you. Take
student
care.
of it.
Once again, I'd like you to speak more about different topics. I still remember some of your favorite topics are
Sir,
ankle injuries
sir,
and even shoulder as well.
yes, yes. So, sir, something that is very close to my heart is definitely shoulder injuries because it's very common. Lower limb tendinopathies is my favorite subject. And one very interesting subject I did mention during the talk was assessment only on the basis of pain. Because quite often, I remember when I was with the academy, we had a Kiwi physio, Paul Close, who was the head physio of the academy, and he would sit with me to ask me what I've done during the daytime, like what assessments I've done. Show me your assessments. And he said, "This is all fine. You have written your positive test. Where are the negative tests?" So I said, "See, they were negative, so I haven't mentioned them. I only wrote the tests that were positive." So he's like, "No, that means you are lying to me. You haven't done the entire testing. You only did these few tests which you have mentioned." I was like, "No. I got into an argument. No, I've done the testing." But then what he said is, if I were to be the next physio to treat the same athlete, I would, what understanding that I would get from your notes. So from then on, it's very important that that's when I started writing the negative test also. Okay, I did McMurray's test, it was negative. I did this, it was positive. So I learned the importance of writing down qualitative data also. Data entry or documentation is something that we grossly lack in India because we have a big patient pool, and we really still are not into that system of having appointments for physios where we do detailed assessment. Quite often the orthopedic surgeons would give up a physiotherapy prescription. So it's very important for us to also assess the patient, and maybe we can find more things in it. So yes, documentation is first thing that I learned from that physio, and I was like, how can I miss it? I've done all these things. So it's very nice way of documenting things. You can go back on your cases, you can reflect on that. So data entry is something that was very important, and he taught me the importance of pain assessment. I had a athlete. I was in an exam where I only had to come to a provisional diagnosis basis on their pain history without touching the athlete. Okay, so I had to probably ask them 100 questions about how their pain behaved. इसमें दर्द है, उसमें दर्द है, कब होता है, कब नहीं होता है, ये किया तो होगा, वो किया तो होगा. All that sort of questions. And then they actually taught us how to come to a provisional diagnosis basis on the pain. So by the time you come to an objective assessment, we have some idea of the structures that we are going to be dealing with. And then we will work on and off, aage piche, we will be trying to test different structures in multiple ways to see what structure is involved. And then come to a plan, like understanding the pathomechanics. So having a structured way to do assessment is something that is also close to my heart. And my physios back in the clinic, they've been doing it, and they clinically reason everything they do. Sometimes we would just walk in, okay, why we are giving a PA glide to this joint. So there has to be a reason. So sir, this is something that I think we can have more sessions on. So our physios can have something more into their toolkit, and they can go back to the clinics and try and understand the same patient again.
I'm sure Roshni will keep communicating with you. What I
Definitely.
want is, like, as I said, like, I want maybe another couple of webinars. And once the situation is
Definitely.
clear, I want you to come down to Visnagar so that you can teach
Definitely.
them some hands-on stuff. And then you
Yes,
can even
definitely.
give some advice, like how best we can develop our department. Because right now, recently,
Definitely.
we just started with the preliminary things. And an expert like you
Right.
would definitely help us to bring up. That's it.
Sir,
So
sir,
thank you
you are
so
very
much, Neha.
generous
Yeah.
when it comes to complimenting me.
Yeah.
Sir,
Thank
but
you.
honestly, we
God
would
bless
be
you.
happy to help you.
That's what I want.
Yes, definitely. Sir, we have to improve, and we have to improve our physiotherapy in India. You know the situation, right?
Yes, definitely. So thank you again,
And
Neha.
there is,
Take care. God bless you.
yeah.
Ji.
Thank you, sir.
Ji.
Thank you. See you.
Yeah. Right. Bye bye.
Chalo, see you.